Hey guys, this video we're going to go over some examples of taking a pattern and writing a function rule for a pattern. Alright, so in this first example I have some little dots, and so my first figure has 4 dots, my second figure has 6, and my third figure has 8. So I'm going to start by putting them on a table. You don't have to, but I think that that's a good way to organize what we're looking at. And we can probably find a pattern and figure out what the 4th and 5th dots would look like. So can you see a pattern in how many dots we're adding each time? Yeah, it looks like I'm adding 2 each time. So then that would be 10 and that would be 12. And so that's going to work if we only have to go a little bit further into the pattern. But what if I wanted how many dots would be in the 40th term? You're not going to want to make this table until you go from 5 all the way up to 40. So we're going to try to make a function rule. So let's see if there's a way that I can plug in numbers for x, and I'm going to get the numbers in the y column. So a function rule is going to look like this. And I'm probably going to have to multiply something by my x, and then maybe I'll have to add or subtract something to finish this pattern. Alright, if you remember, if you are adding or subtracting, if you're going up or down at the same amount every time, it's going to look kind of like a line. So this is going to start to look like y equals mx plus b. Alright, so let's see. Do you think that I could multiply something by x and then either add or subtract to get the numbers that are in the y column? Well, let's plug in 1 for x. When I plug in 1 for x, I'm supposed to get 4. When I plug in 2 for x, I'm supposed to get 6. When I plug in 3 for x, I'm supposed to get 8. So is there something times 1, maybe plus something that would give me 4, and that same rule is going to work for all of them? Well, let's start by multiplying by 2, because that might be important, because that's what our pattern was going up by, right? So let's start by multiplying by 2. So 2 times 1 is 2. So how many do I have to add to get 4? 2 times 1 is 2. So I'm going to have to add 2 to get 4. Let's see if that works. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 plus 2 is 6. 2 times 3 is 6. 6 plus 2 is 8. So it looks like this is working. It looks like I might have a rule that if I do 2 times x plus 2, it's giving me my pattern. So let's try it with one that we didn't have blocks for. So let's see if our rule works for plugging in 5. So if I plug in 5, is 2 times 5 plus 2. Does that equal 12? 2 times 5 is 10. 10 plus 2 is 12. Looks like it works. So our final answer, our rule, is 2x plus 2. Alright, the next one we have a pattern of 18, 16, 14, and 12. And so what I did is I turned that into a table. My first number is 18, my second number is 16, my third number was 14, my fourth number was 12. So let's see if we can find a pattern and at least figure out what the next 2 terms are going to be. Alright, y'all, and again, these are your notes. You're supposed to be copying these down in a notebook so that you can use them to help you. Alright, well I know 18 minus 2 is 16. 16 minus 2 All right, so this looks like it's working. So maybe I just need to keep subtracting 2. So my next number will be 10, and then 8. All right, so let's see if we can make up a function rule. So again, it should look like something times x, and either plus a number or minus a number. All right, and again, think about what I want. I want something times x plus another number. So if I plug in 1, I'm going to replace this x with a 1. Something times 1 plus another number has to give me 18. All right, and the rule has to be the same for no matter what number I plug in. So something times 2 plus something else has to give me 16. And then that same number times 3 has to give me 14. All right, so let's see if we can figure out what works. All right, so that -2 again is probably important. Let's see, maybe I can try multiplying the -2. So let's see if that works. So if I do -2 times 1, that's going to give me -2. So how would I get from -2 to 18? How do I get from -2 all the way up to positive 18? I think I'm going to have to add 20. So let's see if that works. -2 times 2 is -4. -4 plus 20 works. That would be -6. -6 plus 20 works. Yep, so let's try it with one that we didn't have a pattern for. So let's try it with 6. If this rule works, then -2 times 6 plus 20 would give me 8. So that would be -12, and -12 plus 20 is 8. So that works. So my function rule would be -2x plus 20. All right, we're going to be doing a lot more examples in our Zoom together, but here's a video so that at least you have 2 that you can watch if for some reason you're not on the Zoom or you just didn't take down very good notes while we're Zooming together.